Matthew Moore's MM Wood Studio. Today is Saturday, October 21st, and we're going to talk about these doors. Let's get into it. All right, well, it's been a really great week here in the shop. I was able to get all the tools hung on both doors, but I have been fighting a little bit of a cold, which means I did less work here in the shop, but it means I did a lot of work upstairs editing. Remember that Nakashima coffee table I finished just about a month ago? Well, I've almost finished editing every single chapter in the build. I'm going to start putting those up at the end of this weekend, and for all of you yearly subscribers out there, they'll be ready for you guys to start watching on Monday. That's pretty cool. Now, for all of you guys who aren't yearly subscribers, and all of those of you who are already, I've got a great deal for you for the holidays. If you go to my website, mmwoodstudio.com, and you use the coupon code YT50, I'm gonna give you $50 off the entire yearly subscription. That's gonna give you access to every single class in the school. That's a ton of great woodworking. That's probably hundreds of hours of videos of me to watch, building some awesome projects that you guys can build too. Once again, that coupon code is YT50, $50 off, makes it $100 for unlimited access to every single project in the school. All right, well, that's enough of the commercial stuff. Let's get into this. So I really knew that on this right door here, as I face the cabinet, that's where I wanted to have my chisels. I've had them before that way, and I wanted to have them that way again. And I knew that I wanted my screwdrivers right below them. Now these were a project, or most of them on there, all the ones in Coca-Cola, were a project in the school, and I really wanted to show them off. So I made these two tool rests at the same time. I milled up some 8/4 material, a little bit thinner, and at the table saw, I cut that all the width and length. And then over the drill press, after laying out where I want all my holes to be, I drilled holes for everything, and then back over the table saw, I relieved material so that in front of the holes, there's this little gap where you can take your tool and pull it out, and then come back and put it back in. Now all of these are angled slightly, about 10 degrees, and what that does is it takes the tool from resting like this to 10 degrees back, and you may think, oh, that's gonna make it fall out. Well, no, instead it's pushing it against the inside wall, and it's making sure that the chisels, the bottom, are closer to the inside of the door, so you're less likely to have something hit it. And when you put the next tool in that's below it, again, you're less likely to hit the chisel itself, so you're going to have less need to sharpen them because you're hitting them with something else, so you're protecting them that way. I wanted to finish off this door, and I wanted my plane hammer in it, and I also wanted 2 of my adjustable squares. So the question is, how are these being held in? Well, magnets. Magnets are great. I have magnets at the very end of each one, and all you need to do is just kind of pull back, take it out, the magnet releases, and here is your square. You put it back, and the magnet grabs the end of the blade and holds it firmly down. No problem whatsoever. Open the door, close the door, doesn't move. Now the plane hammer, that's a really simple one. That's just relieving some material from the center, making a nice little square. And then to kick that off though, I have a nice little lip that I made. So when you put the piece in, it gets held down on the lip. So when the door closes, the hammer goes against the lip and it doesn't come off. Now over here on this door, I really wanted these Miller Falls drills of mine to be up here as well. So I've got my number 5, my number 2, and they're hanging and they're forward from the door a bit. You can definitely see that when you take the door and you put it sideways, that they're coming out. And that's okay, because when you close it, I made sure that when they close, they don't hit any of the planes on the plane till. And right to the right of them, I figured this would be a great spot to put my dead blow hammer, because I want it somewhere, because I'm always reaching for this, and that's where I put it. Now below that, I've got another rack here, which is kind of interesting. It's also angled at 10 degrees, but it has a whole bunch of different things going on. So I've got my Chris Vesper square, I got my Lee Nielsen brush, and I have something that I use all the time, and that is my digital dial caliper. To make this tool holder, I made a couple cuts over the table saw, and then after laying out my lines, I took it over to the hollow chisel mortiser, and using a 1/4 inch bit, I removed a whole bunch of material That prevents it from falling out when you're moving the door back and forth. And then for the Lie-Nielsen brush, that was just drilling and then at the table saw again removing material to create that little notch. Now down below here, I've got two holders. They're both screwed into the door and they're holding a bunch of stuff. The one on the far left has scrapers and a burnisher to help sharpen those scrapers. Now, this other one over here, I've got two bevel gauges, feeler gauges, a center hole punch, and the knife that I use the most for marking. And this over here, just about everything except for the center hole punch was done at the mortiser. What'd you guys do this week? I'm really curious. Let me know in the comments below. I always love hearing that from you guys. All right, well, that's pretty much it for this week. As always, please subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. If you're watching us on Facebook, hit the like button, share in your timeline, and head over to the MM Woodsio page and like us there as well. And as always, have a great week in your shop.